Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I'm hosting these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch and be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube. Wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box right over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. And understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can make your comments or questions during a live stream. Like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos, contest coverage videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please smash that thumbs up, smash that like button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, sharing the videos, comments on the videos. All these engagements help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member myself. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account each and every month. Matter of fact, I was just checking recently, and I saw that I've been a member for like 3 years and 9 months. So, I mean, no kidding, I've been doing this for a while. So please partner with me. And if you only can afford the $4.99 a month, that's great. We have 2 other tiers above that. And please consider doing that. That really helps out because when you're a member, you actually get some perks. You get access to member-only videos, and Sparky and I, when we do our videos, we see who are the supporting patrons in the chat box, and hopefully you'd want to be one of those supporters yourself. So please support us. And if you don't want to do this, the monthly subscription, $4.99, please do the super chat, and that's located right below this chat box over here. And if you're watching this as a replay, you can still donate using what's called the super thanks. And when you see the 3 dots on the YouTube channel, click on that and the sub menu will appear, and select super thanks and donate there. Hopefully you'll support us and donate in line with what you're getting in return. And I'm proud of what we have. We have in our gallery, we have a lot of talented people. I mean, Sparky himself has built over 500 airplanes. And we have people who have been in the national championships, people who have won the national championships, people who've been to the world championships, who've won the world championships. So, there's several ways to do the same thing, and you'll get a good answer from this gallery. I promise you that. Now, if you want to get in touch with me, the best way is not necessarily through Sparky's channel, because I only come in here just Monday and Friday, and I post the link and I stream the show. But go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. Let me repeat that. Flying Control Line Stunt. That's the name of my YouTube channel. If you go there, please locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful and light Junar XL. It was orange back then. I believe now it's white with orange trim. That was my first official flight on the L pad at the AMA National Championships ever. First time I've been there. It was a bucket list day for me. So please check it out. And if you want to comment, subscribe, and share there, I appreciate that as well. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family, room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at the Stunthangar forum. Let me get there right now. It looks like Gary Sinclair is here. Hey, Gary, thanks for coming in.
Yeah. You already posted it, didn't you?
I did. I posted it already. It's just a habit. And I'm actually waiting for for Gordon Delaney to get in here. I actually started talking to him on the phone. You still there, Gordon? Gordon, you still there? Maybe he hung up, which is okay. Where's my phone? I can hear it. Where's my phone at? Maybe my phone's somewhere. I'll just hang up. Let me hang up this and take this Bluetooth on. Technology. I got
too much.
I got so much going on. Brad Lapointe's making his way in here. Let me make my way to the control panel. And let me close this here, close this here, close that, and make my way to the what I call the control panel, YouTube Studio. Hey, Brad Lapointe, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Charles. Yourself?
Doing good. Just still setting the show up here. Just give me a moment here, but glad to see you. Thanks for coming in.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, let me just do something real quick. And I see Gary Sinclair is the first one in the chat box. And Gary Sinclair is one of our members of our YouTube channel. I can tell by the moniker next to his name. And he also has a blue wrench. He's a monitor, and so he can delete and get rid of our trolls, that kind of stuff. So that's great. He says, hi, everyone. Like provided. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. And then Daniel Berry Sports Highlights says, yo. Thank you, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Appreciate that. And I see that Mark Wise just made his way in here. Hi, Mark. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
And let me see here. I forgot about this. I got to fix this thing. This thing is, I guess I can pop out the chat. Do it that way. Just bear with me 1 second here. Ever since I switched things, this thing does not work the way I like it to work. Let's see. Well, I'll try it like that. See if I can expand this. No, that's not going to be expanded. All right. Well. All right. A little watch wrong with that screen. Anyways, let me start with Gary Sinclair. How you doing, Gary?
You're good.
What you been up to?
I got that diarrhea there the other day.
Oh, that's no fun.
Getting off of it. So I don't know where I got it for sure, but picked it up at the rest home, and I'm not sure.
Is that Opal home?
No, she's still up there.
All right. Hopefully she gets home soon, buddy.
Yeah.
Let me go on with Brad Lapointe. Hey, Brad Lapointe, I'm glad you didn't jettison out of here when we started talking about diarrhea. Thanks for hanging on.
Hey, we've all been there. It's not a good thing.
It just comes up on you. It's like,
hey, you don't want to hear no more, Gary. That's all right.
Okay. Well, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing.
Okay. I did ask, and he's such an honest gentleman. He actually told me the truth. So I can't fault him for doing that. So Brad, what you been up to? I know it's not May yet, but have you been able to do any flying, or what are you doing? Building?
Unlike Lenny, if the weather turns nice, I go out flying. So last Thursday, it was like mid-50s, damn near dead calm, and the field was dry. So I put in 6 flights and called it a day.
Hey, hey, you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
6 flights is a good effort. That is
Yeah,
good, man. I mean,
dug out the old Cardinal.
oh, really? Oh, man.
Worked good.
Just a built up or a profile Cardinal?
Just a profile, just a Brodak kit. But, when I'm flying off a Stooge, I always use a profile because it's a lot less messing around.
That's a good idea. I have a Brodak profile RF Cardinal that was given to me by a friend before he left um, Southern California and moved to Texas. I haven't. Matter of fact, his name is Mike Mulligan. Hey, Mike Mulligan, if you're listening, man, I miss you, man. I miss you so much. But anyways, he gave it to me before he left. I had to put an engine on it, but I haven't gotten a really good engine run. I don't know if the tank is out of sorts or I don't know. I
Just say it was an ARF.
Yeah, it's an ARF. Yeah.
Some of those things have soft front ends, and engine runs can be a little bit hit and miss. Some are okay, but I've seen a couple of them. The guys just never got a good engine run, and I think it was maybe back in the factory in China they didn't put enough glue in it or something.
Maybe it's just erratic and it's just inconsistent. I do one needle setting, and okay, it's going too fast, and then I land, wait my turn, and I fly it again. I richen it up, and then it's I forgot what happens, but it's just erratic. It's been a while. I put it a plane away. It's a garage queen right now, but I hope to get that plane out because I really haven't had a chance to really fly it. I hear it's a good flying plane. I mean, I've flown it, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I've done the full pattern with that plane yet. So, but I've seen it fly. I mean, he used to fly it all the time. So, and I even flew it years ago before he left. So I don't know. It's just one of those planes I got to get back to it. So when you mention it, it makes me think, oh yeah, I got to get mine going. So you do the full pattern, Brad, the point? You do the full pattern, right?
Yeah, I try.
That's right.
Most of the time.
He's at the Canadian team trials.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you do.
My big problem is I can go into 3 or 4 patterns and it's not a problem. After that, I start forgetting where I am in the pattern. So I have to do the self-coaching thing. I talk myself into each maneuver. That way I don't forget the darn things or get them out of. I'm okay for like 3 patterns. After that, I don't know. I lose interest. I'm not sure what it is, but if I do a whole bunch of patterns in a day, I have to start talking myself through the pattern.
And Bob Hunt, he talks himself.
Oh yeah,
it all the time. Yeah.
I mean, try to keep them around. Try to keep them under 45. Self-judge when you're going through the pattern. I mean, Lenny comes out and helps me a lot, but when he's not around, yeah, you got to do it yourself.
I even will tell myself, I know what my idiosyncrasies are, what things I do, my bad habits. So not only am I saying what the next maneuver is, I'll tell myself, okay, remember, you got to be soft on that, a third corner of the hourglass. Remember, don't hit it too hard. That's one thing I tell myself when I'm doing that maneuver. And there's some other things, other tales I got to tell myself, remind myself to do that, just throughout the whole pattern. I do that more in an official flight at a contest, but when I practice, I try to replicate an official flight, but it's hard to replicate an official flight, practicing because you always can the next flight. I'll do it next flight. But at a contest, there's no redos,
Yeah, I find if I talk myself through the pattern and I sort of like just started the takeoff, say, I'm going to come out nice and smooth and keep it nice and low. And, it's just like you're judging your pattern as you fly it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
It helps with the concentration.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. And
you do it with a lot of people around, they think you're nuts because you're talking to yourself.
Yeah, especially when you're flying electric, they really hear you talking to yourself.
Then they hear all the cursing and swearing.
Well, that's the other thing too, is when you make a mistake, you got to act like you meant to do that. Like that's not a mistake. You got to act like that's what I meant to do. You don't do, oh man, or do something that, but then you blow it for yourself.
That's what cats do.
Yeah. So, Mark, I know that you usually have an update, but besides the update with Pampa, what else is going on with you?
Well, I hope all you guys got that. Anyone who's a Pampa member anyway should have gotten a copy of a letter that I sent to Chad Boudreau and Rich at AMA, and the last 2 Sundays I've had Zoom meetings with the planning guys because we're getting ready. I'm about halfway through what we're calling an invitation to get these meetings started with AMA and see if we can establish a better relationship and help each other out. And it's all good stuff. It takes time, but it's all good stuff. But Friday night and Saturday, I had some fun. I drove up to Lebanon, PA, which is the home of, I guess, the second biggest swap shop in the country, or the first. I don't know if it's bigger than Georgia or not. And Bruce Jennings and I shared a room in a nice new Marriott, which was almost within walking distance of the fairgrounds. And thanks to his wife's travel, the room was free. That's even better. And it was raining. And Bruce and I kind of had, it's an RC swap shop, but if you look around, there's a lot of control line stuff.
Right.
And you just have to kind of be patient and go through the piles. And I'll tell you what I got, and you tell me what you think it cost, all right?
Sure.
All right. I got 7 rolls of Ultra Coat. 6 rolls of Ultra Coat.
All right.
I got National Balsa was there, so I got pretty nice stuff. It was 12 sheets of 3 by 36 by 16.
Wow.
Okay. And then when I was getting ready to go, I went over to the Northern Virginia Control Line Club, and I know some of the guys in there, and sitting on the table, they were selling things to benefit the club. And there was a really nice looking Sterling Skylark sitting there. I opened the box and it looked absolutely complete. Things hadn't been run around. And I said, well, what do you want for that? Because I was going to make a donation. And the guy said, $35. So I got that. So 6 rolls of Monaco, 12 sheets of wood, and the Skylark kit. I'll tell you this, it was under $100.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was thinking starting off at least 150.
Yep. If you went around and looked closely for covering, you could find some guys selling full rolls for $17, which I thought was gouging. But I found 2 or 3 guys selling them for $5 each.
Right.
I got 7 rolls of Ultra Coat for $35.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. $20 for the 12 sheets of wood, which are really light. They're probably no more than 5 or 6 pounds. They just had a bunch of stacks that had some really light wood in it. And the kit was $35. So it was like Christmas.
You made out.
Yeah, it was great. And they had, all the glow engines you could ever hope for. But of course, you're not going to find a PA. You're not going to find, something like that. A Rojet. You're not going to find those. But if you know what you're looking for, a lot of good engines. You can tell some guys were ready to go to eBay because they were really charging quite a bit. And they have the right to do that, but I have the right not to buy it.
Right.
And, I run into a lot of people I know, which is always great. Some of the guys at Brodak, some guys that go to the Nats. And then Bruce and I had lunch with a bunch of the Philly Flyers and some other guys. So it's about a 2-hour ride for me. Bruce lives upstate New York now, so that was about 4 hours. But we've been doing that for about every year. And you never know what's going to show up, but you are convinced that probably half the stuff the guys bring in, you wouldn't have the balls to say it's yours. It's just so rough. It looks like stuff that was flown maybe in 1950, and it was hung up in an attic, and the wood is dark, and the covering is peeled away, and they have price tags on them. And I just, maybe someone's buying that stuff. I don't know.
Maybe, but not you or I.
Yeah, I mean, if I went or the guys that I know went, we'd bring stuff that we were very comfortable with, that if someone else would buy, they'd have a good time with. And, it's true, it's nice. It's just we're not using it anymore. So it was good. And now I'm trying to decide, well, I have a little time. I'm trying to figure out which profile I want to build in time for Brodak.
Well, what choices do you have?
Well, I have an airplane that I've always liked, and I haven't seen it modeled very often. It's a Walter Umlin short kit of an Edge 540. Okay, and an Edge 540 is the plane you see these guys fly in the Red Bull races around the pylons over the water.
Right.
Yeah, those are Edge 540s. They're interesting because the leading edge is straight. It has no V in it whatsoever. It's straight out.
Okay.
And I think one of the things about that plane is that wing configuration slows down the vertical lines downward, which seems for a modeler to be a good idea.
Yeah.
So it's set up for glow. It's fairly large, 650. I thought I had until I opened it last night. The guy was advertising a Pat Johnson Stiletto 660 profile.
Wow.
Okay, I have the Walter Umlin version, but I don't want to rush it, so I hope to start it next winter. And so I bought it from him. He only wanted $100 from him, and like $20 shipping. So last night, my cat and I opened it up to look at it. Well, it turns out it's not a profile; it's a full body.
Oh, wow.
So it's a great deal, but that really presses my time.
Yeah, right.
Because the profile, I'm probably just going to ultra coat the wing and the stab and spray the body or something like that.
Right.
And, so that's what I'm trying to figure out is what's the most practical thing I can do and get it done in time so I have something to fly. I mean, I'm going to bring some planes, but I'd rather fly something else before I put some patterns on the P-47, for example.
Yes.
Good
idea.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of chance to fly, so I don't want to start with that because that's irreplaceable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything I build is replaceable, but anything Billy builds is not replaceable.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. So that Paul and I and Bill and some others are starting to get pretty busy on the world. John Harris and his crew and me were starting to dig into the gnats. Of course, he's already started that. He's a doer. He's going to get it done. And John has volunteered to be a circle marshal at the moment. So, he's as nuts as I am. He'll be working like I will about 15 straight days. But he's willing to do it and he's good at it. And the other circle marshal I'm really tickled with also is Jim Hoffman.
Yeah, that should be a good, good tandem, those two guys.
The only thing I'm looking for, what we're short on are 2 tabulators. And the guys who volunteer to help, and I can understand this, don't want to tabulate because they want to be out there seeing the guys fly.
Right.
I can't blame them.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. I just got to find 2 people willing to do that. They're probably going to be people that are not pilots, that are good with an editing machine and, and a computer. So I have that little bit of window right now where I could clear off my table and frame up a wing, and a profile doesn't take that long. So I think probably the Edge is going to be the one. It's a nice looking plane. It's clean. It's simple. It's set up for glow, but making the mods isn't hard. And I'm just going to replace some of the wood with lighter wood because I don't need that kind of structure for electric.
Right.
And it'll probably be the first plane I fly off spectral lines. So it'd be kind of neat. And the only problem with doing it at Brodex, there's so many people watching. I don't. So I'll make sure I have my basic pattern down, and I mean, I fly the pattern, but it's just been a while. So, so all is good. I'm really looking forward to getting this thing going with AMA, and work together, and try to make it a template for every SIG. And one of the things that's come out of this is when you think about it, I think the AMA has done a good job with the SIGs, which are basically organizations to run the nationals event. But when you think about, let's say Pampa, for example, with 300 members, I doubt 80 of them come to the Nats. And when you look at AMA with 130,000 members, what percentage of those people come to the Nats? So the great grassroots effort, who's out there helping them?
Right.
So, we've kind of adopted the idea, we'll take people who've never flown. We got to get them into the pipeline. You just can't invent a stunt flyer. They got to start somewhere. And I think that with the new judges certification program that we're really doing a good job on, I see some exciting future, but there's some real challenges, and I'm asking AMA they can do things with 130,000 members that I can't do with 300. They have clout. We have a small group. So, it's becoming like a full-time job, but I think anything that you really want to dig your teeth into, honestly, at times it's hard to walk away from the computer, and stop typing. It's just hard. So, so I think what I'm going to do is give this one more term, and either I'll leave a hero or leave at night, one or the other. So if it all doesn't work out, but this is the last thing, but this is the best thing that probably happened, because I didn't anticipate it at all, was the day after that email went out to every Pampa member. In the next maybe 24 hours, I got maybe a dozen responses from Pampa members, really very strong, very positive responses. 3 guys volunteering to help anything that we can do. And the one that really put a smile on my face was Mark Overmeyer, who's also our chief judge. And he and I have a good relationship. He's a great guy. And he sends me back a response. Hey, that was really well written. I think you're getting somewhere. He said, you have a lot of support out there. The next time there's an election for AMA president, you should run. So I said, yes, I should run, but not for that. I should run for cover. I told him, I said, I appreciate it. I'm not at the age that I want to start traveling around the country representing AMA. But it was awfully nice of him to say that.
Yeah.
So it's always what you don't expect that's really fun. And so I think you get out what you put in. So
right.
We're trying to put in a lot tomorrow night. I got 2 Zoom meetings, 2 of the different committees, and we're moving. So,
I didn't get that email, and I'm wondering if I need to renew for this year or something. Maybe that's what the problem is.
Go on the website and see if you can find yourself as being paid.
Yeah, I'm looking at my account on the Pampa website, and
I didn't get it either, Mark.
Who else didn't?
That's Philip Bailey.
Well, I can send it out from here. So let me just write down a couple of names.
Okay, so let me see here.
I don't think I got it.
Yeah, mine expires May 9th, 2024. It says I'm active.
So you're fine. So let's see, Charles and Phil.
Philip Bailey.
And someone else say something?
Me.
Stuart?
Yep.
Okay. All righty. I will take care of that. It's maybe 2 pages. I think it's from me. It could say it's from Chris Rudd, because Chris gets them out to everybody.
Maybe yes. I was looking for. I searched for Mark Wise.
It should have been I don't know, a week ago. Maybe not even that.
Let me just see here.
Brad, you got one? Okay, thanks, buddy.
I got it too.
Got one? Okay.
Good.
All right, so we're a little broken, not totally broken.
Yeah, let's see here. Oh, Mark Wise, I found it. Why'd you show it this time? Okay, I got it.
All
I
right.
don't have it.
All right, thank you.
You're not the first person that called me on that.
Okay.
You know, what's happened to Pampa? I didn't get it. I said, oh my God, who, you know, and I said, you sure you check carefully? And a couple of them unexpectedly went to spam, and I can't explain that.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I
it
did
just
check
happens.
spam too, but
Yeah.
he wasn't there.
Yeah. So anyway, I've taken enough time.
All right, let me hear
Good seeing
from
you
Lynn
guys.
Burrell then. I know Lynn's been working on his Gieske Nobler. Supposed to be
It's
all
sort of been it's sort of been put aside now, and I'm working on the big plane again. So I've been working
Oh.
on that today. I had a flood in my basement, so I spent
oh
part of the
no.
morning tearing flooring out and
Oh, I'm so
doing
sorry.
other things. So airplanes are
Oh.
sort of off the table for a day or
Oh,
so.
no doubt. So what was the cause of
uh,
the flood?
Still haven't figured it out.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Either washing machine or drain pipe or something. I don't know.
Oh man, sorry
We'll
to hear.
get her figured out.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that.
So I'm working on that, and I did get some airplane work done today though. I got the motor mounts cut out, and I got the pads all drilled and the mounts all drilled and the blind nuts in. So I'm working on the crutch. It's coming along for PA 75 big airplane.
All right. This is your own design?
It's cardinal-ish. It's
Okay.
basically using the cardinal plan, but I'm modifying it. It won't look at all like a cardinal. The numbers will be cardinal, but that's all. The
Okay.
appearance will not look like a cardinal at all.
Right. Well, that's what
Well,
when you did
That's
with the
where
Strega. The Strega was a Cardinal, basically, that was modified.
all those airplanes are basically the same. The Strega, the Pattern Master, the Cardinal,
Yeah.
they're all derivatives of the Pattern Master. They all
Yeah.
come basically from that airplane.
Yep. Big Jim.
Yeah, Big Jim. I'm a very Big Jim fan.
All right.
You know,
Always have been.
if you have the Cardinal, I wonder if anyone's ever done the Pope. I guess it would have to
Boo
be white.
hiss.
I don't know.
Boo hiss.
Oh man.
Oh my
So that's
See-
what I've been up to.
That's good. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it, Lynn.
Good
Not a
seeing you,
problem.
Lane.
And then we have the other
too, Mark.
Canadian. The other Canadian is Stuart Morrison. How you doing, Stuart?
Good. Everything's good. So just working away on my stuff. Actually, I got a couple questions. Mark, with the last day of the Nats for the control line, it's on I think the Friday, the 9th, is it? When they do the final, that's the finals, right? For the
That's the top five. Yeah, that's the top
And-
five. Yeah.
and does it usually end at about noon and then everything's done?
Yeah, it's noon, 1 o'clock at the latest.
Okay.
It's the top five and then the Walker Trophy fly off, which doesn't take very long. And then it's the awards. So I'd say 1:30 it's over.
Okay, so
Yeah.
everybody pretty much take off after that and they head home?
Most do this year, a lot is going to stay for the Worlds.
Okay, I heard you're gonna have a party that night.
Which night? I'm going to have a party and invite nobody.
So, okay, Len, I got a question for you. Did I leave a extra cardinal plan at your place?
I didn't see one.
Okay.
If
maybe,
you did it, I think you might have left one that was mine. That's the only one I know of.
Okay, all
Because you
right.
gave me one back.
Yep, I think I should have got an extra one, but that's all right. Actually, all I got here, I might as well ask. Not sure because the way that the plan was. Does this go this way or do you remember?
The other way.
This way?
Right.
Okay,
Bingo.
good, thank you.
You actually left the template of that piece on my table. That's all there was.
That's
I
the
didn't see any
problem.
full-size plan.
I think that's what happened and that's why you know what to do. So, all right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Who's next?
What happened?
Do we lose Charles?
No, I'm talking to Gordon Delaney. I was trying to help him get into the show, and I was just trying to see what was going on. And so let me see here. Next, that would have been Philip Bailey. Hey, Philip, tell the gallery what you've been up to. I'm going to be talking to Gordon Delaney.
Rebuilding the front of the SV11. I've got.
Yeah, I'm back.
I kept trying to rebuild it, and I finally
I'm
said,
back,
"Well,
Gordon.
let's go ahead and go."
So you try again to go to the Stunthangar forum.
Charles, you need to mute yourself.
Yeah, mute yourself, Charles.
That a boy, Phil.
I finally had to. I built the crutch for the motor. If you've ever looked at an RF SV11, it's a whole unit in the front that slides in, that goes in the front of the thing. I built that and got it all squared up, made sure that was right, put it in, got it glued in, and made sure that was all square. Then you're looking at a whole lot of broken bosses. So I just cut everything off and started building from there forward, and now I'm shaping everything down. I'm trying to resist the urge to make the front come off the spinner and come down and then come out into a mouth and leave it like it was on the original, just kind of slick down and a hole in it. I'm trying to go back that way, but I'm really having to fight myself. The urge is to put a F-86 snorkel on the front of the thing, But the thing about it is you have to be able to reach in there and hold that motor so you can get the screws in the darn thing. So I guess it'll be all right. It's coming. There's I put a slot to put a cover on the bottom of the plane that you put the timer and the ESC in. So that's all done. And the motor on that one turned out to somehow or another, the spinner and prop took all the shock, and the motor seems to be all right. I haven't powered it up yet. Well, yeah, yes, I have too, because I powered it up with the electronics out of the other motors. How I found the crack in the board. But anyway, the motor runs. So we're going to put it back together with a Cobra motor and let it go again. It was working fine before. I have no reason to believe it won't now. So we're going to put it back together, and hopefully next weekend it'll fly. But guys called me and told me they're going out in the morning. So I guess we'll go out in the morning and fly Ringmasters or something. I don't know what. I'm going to fly my Ringmaster. I don't know what they're going to fly. They want me to bring the Humbug, but I haven't got the motor freed up yet. So I could take my Humbug, but that wouldn't be near as much fun. This one has that a bell crank that runs the push rod to the back. Near neutral, you got a pretty good swing in your hand that does just very little to elevator. But when you get out near the ends, it really moves. That's going to be an all different feel. I'm going to have to be right careful with that one the first flight or two.
That's exponential.
Ought to have a heck of a corner. But I have 2 or 3 times here on the ground played with the thing and it'll brush up against something. And if you force that elevator too far, it jams the controls. I'm kind of worried about that. But once you push them back down in range and it catches up, it's fine. So I don't know what could be causing that. But I built one of those control systems years ago. I've never put it in anything. I just didn't have the guts to put it in mine. I put a regular bell crank in mine after talking to Tom Dixon, who was Bob Barron's flying partner. He suggested just put a stock bell crank in the thing and go fly it. So that's what I did. And it flies very well. I mean, it'll startle you how that little thing can turn with no flaps. But I don't know. We're going to see. Mine's got a 32 in it. This one has an OS 28. And their weight is very comparable. I have not flown mine with a 32. I've flown it with a 25, and it stunted fine with a 25. So a 32, I think it's just going to be more of the same. But this little 28, I mean, Bob flew it at VSC, so it must have flown well, because that rarefied air out there is hard to fly in. You got to have any of you that have never gone to VSC, if you get a chance to go, take some 15% nitro with you. You need more air in the motor than what normally aspirated provides out there. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a fun little airplane. I cleaned it up today and tightened the monocoque up. Not really impressed with the way they did the wingtips, but it'd be all right. Anyway, that's about all I've been doing, just fixing the SB11 and getting everything else cleaned up and ready to go.
Yeah, let me welcome Stephen Mancella. Hey, Stephen, you have a question or comment?
I had a question on the 15% nitro running down at the VSC. What is the purpose for that and the change in engine run?
Nitro in a motor. I don't care if you're talking about a AA fuel dragster or PWO 20. It's more air in the cylinder, more power,
More oxygen.
more oxygen. Yeah, there you go. And it just
Well,
gives you a lot more power.
What's the matter with 10%?
Well,
what's the matter with,
I fly at 10%. Okay, I'm being too loud. I fly on 10% here. We're only at 6,000 feet. I mean, 600 feet, 690 feet.
Right.
And I fly on 10% here when it's hot.
Uh-huh.
You go out there and you're at 5,000 feet or above.
No, you're not that hot.
Not
Tucson's only 2,000 feet, is it not?
Still makes a difference, Steven. Still makes a difference.
It still makes a difference.
2,000 feet is the same elevation in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the reason I ask is because I run my airplanes on 10% in Vegas and I don't have any problems. I'm getting ready to go to VSE in the morning and you guys got me scared because I don't have any 15%. And I don't want to waste my time. So
if you are used to flying in Vegas on 10%, you'll be fine out there. I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't. I'm used to flying on 10% here.
I see.
I went out there and it's a big change. It's a real big change.
My airplanes actually run faster in Vegas. They run better in Vegas than they run here because the air's thinner.
Wow.
You lean them out lean them out a little bit, and I think they run a little, I don't know.
Stephen, have you ever seen anybody take a Fox 35 and put a piece of fuel tube on the stock needle valve to try to stop it from leaking? Okay, well, I did that. And and it flew great here. Won 2 contests in a row with it.
Yeah.
Went to Tucson.
Didn't do that.
Same setup, same airplane.
Yeah.
Didn't think about the fact I had to run the needle valve in to make it run. Okay. Well, still on 10%.
Right.
Still on 10%. Well, that fuel tube made that needle valve push out. And I did 6-second loops, not laps.
Wow.
Loops.
Holy smokes.
I mean, it just hanging on the tail and then boom, and hanging on the tail. Mary Gephardt came over to me afterwards and said, those are some impressive loops. Yeah, but only got halfway through the flight and ran out of fuel.
Right,
so,
right.
Anyway,
used it all up, man.
Yeah, you gotta go out there and practice. You cannot show up late and try to make it out in Tucson. It's just too much difference than it is here. Now similar altitudes and all, you might be fine, but
I was gonna leave at 10 o'clock this morning, but unfortunately in the middle of the night I had an accident with my mother. She had a low blood sugar and I had to have the ambulance and everybody over to revive her. And it just really,
absolutely.
It threw me for a bad loop, man. You know what I mean? So
that'll mess up your whole day, sure enough.
Yeah. So I had to make sure someone's here to stay with her for the 3 or 4 days that I'm gone and to make sure that she's still here when I come home and everything's okay. So
know what you mean. Family first.
Hey, Stephen, one other thing I want to add regarding the 15% is it's gonna reduce your fuel mileage.
Right.
So hopefully your tank is large enough to use 15% because you're gonna need more fuel.
Exactly. Right.
You have to consider that too. If you have enough tank
Yes, sir.
David, what I've done
I've ended up with 15% from the hobby shop a couple times when they were out of the 1022. And I noticed the airplane runs a lot different. The needle setting's a little bit more. If you leave the needle where it's at, it has a lot more power and it burns the fuel up quicker because there's more nitro in it.
Yeah. Right.
Well, what we've learned to do is practice here with 5% instead of 10. We've practiced with 5 and get used to that. And then when you go out there with 10, you're better off. I mean, it works much better, but I'm not going to get to go again this year, but maybe next year. We'll see.
Yeah.
Right. Let me I think Tryan came in next. Hey Tryan, how you doing? I see you're still buffing and polishing and cleaning those molds, right?
Yep.
Very good.
that's kind of the general direction right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, looks like. Let me make it big here. Ooh, that's looking good.
Man, look
Yeah,
at
You
that.
gonna have a new plane for this year, Tryon?
No, this is the same old one.
No. I don't mean a
This
new
is not the
design.
shiny one.
I don't mean a new design. I mean the same. You're gonna build another Revolution, a new Revolution.
I think he's gonna bring
This is the one that's finished. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw. Yeah, there's one angle you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, right there. That's really
That's
shiny.
that's quite shiny.
Woo!
Yeah.
So you're getting ready. So are you getting ready to build you a new Revolution?
I don't think they're getting me smoother so I can go to work. All right, so yeah, what the guys, 19th. Oh, I
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Hello there.
I'm doing just fine. I need some help on the map homework. Okay, guys, I'm gonna
Yeah, that's
mute
more important.
myself. That's all I have for you for now.
All right. Thank you.
I'll still be here.
All right, man. Sounds good.
See you in a bit.
And John Miller, hey, thanks for coming in. And John, I want to tell you something. Friday, the conversation you had, you mentioned about the down incidents. You know, it resonated with me because I had flew my trainer last Friday, and it was hunting. And so over the weekend, I went and put in 2%, 2 degrees down thrust pads from Jim Lee. And then today I flew the plane and dramatically better. It's not completely gone. I think if I could find a 3%, a 3 degree, it'd probably be perfect. But thank you so much for reminding me. And just I wanted to let people know, give a testimony. I'm going to testify that the down thrust.
It's a witness.
Yes, hallelujah. The down thrust did help. I've used it before. I mean, I've had other planes that I've put down thrust, and there's different camps in our hobby. Some people, everything is 000, and
oh yeah,
and of course they'll tell you there's something else that's wrong, you know. But you know what? The down thrust, the 2 degrees, helped my plane today. So thank you very much for reminding me about that.
I'm glad it worked for you. I'm very glad it worked for you. Yeah, you might see if you can probably somewhere between 2.5 or 3 degrees. That's why I put a 1 degree positive in the stab, so I can have a 2 degree, you know, at the engine, and then that 1 degree positive at the stab, because I can then play with the wedge, you know, on the front if I have to, but I've never had to. And it's not, in my case, it's not stiction. It's
not what?
Stiction.
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 I'm not familiar with that.
Well, that's one of the terms that's going around for what causes your plane to hunt, is your control stick.
Oh, yeah. I follow you now. Yes. Yeah, now this is a flapless airplane. So it rules out a lot of stuff that people might think it is.
You could dial in just a little bit of down on your elevator and see if that helps. It might not, but it might. That's the equivalent of making the stab just a little positive.
All right. That's an idea. I can definitely do that. I mean, I only can turn, it has a clevis. I can do a half turn.
Well, that's all right.
I'm not sure if that's going to be enough or too much.
That's probably enough.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, man. I just want to let people know, because, you know, we've been talking about this for years on the show, and some people probably think it's
they're tired of it.
They probably think it's nonsense, but no, it really does. It can work in some circumstances, and it worked in my circumstance. Yeah. So,
well, I've been working on the Trailblazer, trying to get the pattern sheets done.
All right.
Been working. I've got a lot. I got quite a bit done. I just haven't had a lot of time to do any of it because of other things that are coming up. But it's getting there. If I do a little bit every day, I'll get her.
Let me know when, John.
Yeah, don't start building until you get the new ones.
I'm rebuilding what I got, and then I'm gonna finish up we gotta finish painting the other plane, and then we'll be ready to start building on this one.
Because it's changed a bit since.
Oh, it's changed quite a bit from Pathfinder.
And it's changed some more since the plans you got.
Oh Lord, okay.
I gave you, those plans. I told you those are for you to look at. Don't build off them.
Well, I'm building off them, but I'm gonna build the fuselage for the Pathfinder 40 that I've got, the swept wing. Okay. We'll build a fuselage off of it, and then because I looked at it and it looks like, well, this looks exactly like what I drew for my plane, only this looks a lot nicer. So I'm gonna use this. So that's what I'm doing.
Just remember, I warned you.
Oh yeah. That's all right. I got bit once. I won't get bit again. I check everything now. But anybody can make a mistake. All that proves is you're human. I ain't worried about it. How you doing?
Me? I'm feeling a lot better. I'm getting better. Got a new computer that works. It's Windows 10, so the problem was my old laptop was a Windows 7. I figured out I've had it for 15 years. Wow. I'm not cheap or nothing,
Well, me either, but golly, a 7.
Yeah. And that's what it was. A 7, it needed to be upgraded for Zoom and that, and it couldn't upgrade because it wasn't compatible with 7.
No, not compatible with 7.
Pardon there, Steve?
Not compatible with 7. You have to erase Windows 7 and download Windows 8 to upload Windows 10 and then update Windows 10 to Windows 11.
Yeah, it's easier just buying a computer.
If the computer it's a certain age, the operating system won't work for the modern technology that they have nowadays with 10 and 11.
Yeah, 7 won't go to 10.
Well, I got a nice I got a nice laptop, Windows 10 laptop coming to me from the guy that rents a room from me. He just bought a Windows 11 laptop, really nice. Man, he got a buy on that too, boy, I tell you. And it's got a touch screen and a whole bit on it, man. It's nice. But he's in the middle of moving everything over right now. And he said when he got moved over, he'd let me have the old one. So
nice.
Anyway,
neat deal.
That's my report.
All right. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Let me catch up on the chat box. I have Pete Taylor. He says, hey, guys, like sent. Thank you, Paul Taylor, excuse me. And then Brent Williams says, howdy, guys. And then Brent Williams goes on to say, more nitro gives you a better needle valve tuning also.
Well, that's true.
So that's something you'll gain too by more nitro, Stephen. And I have a request. I just want to let you know, I hope Randy doesn't mind, but Randy's been having some health challenges, Randy Smith. I ordered some plans for the SV11 February 9th, and I emailed them a couple of weeks ago, said, have you sent my plans yet? And he told me he typed in the email that he's been in the hospital and this and that. And I'm just getting a little bit impatient. Now, I was planning on scanning the SV11 plans and into a PDF file and put it in my computers. I have the Acrobat Pro. It has a nice measuring tool. I like using that. So if anybody has SV11 plans, you don't have to mail them to me, but if you could email me a PDF, which I was going to make it into a PDF anyways. I paid $29 for the rib set and for the SV11 plans, but I don't want to bug Randy when he's having these health challenges. So if anyone out there in our listening audience could help me, I would greatly appreciate it. I already paid for the plans. It's been over a month, and I'm kind of losing patience. But
I'll look at what I have, Charles. I'm not sure I have the SV11.
Okay,
but I'll look.
I don't know about the 11. I've got the 22, and I've got several of the others, 25 or 6. I don't have the Satana, but I've got the one right after it. I didn't like the name Satana, so I didn't do it. but I think I've got the 26. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, this age business is terrible. You can't remember anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John. What you gonna say, John?
I was just gonna say, Steve needs to wish us peace.
Oh,
Oh, hey, Steve. What? Yes, Steve.
what I was going to ask you, Charles, is I don't know much about it because I've never been on it, but I think it's a site called Outer Zone or something like that.
No, it's not there.
No,
It's
and
not
then
there.
what about if you call Brodak, because I know that's
Nope.
I think that's a
No,
they don't have them.
No.
nope.
Really?
They made the ARF, but they didn't have any plans. There's no plans.
They didn't kit it. They didn't make a kit.
Nope, no kit.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah.
no.
That's why it's been difficult. And like I said, I already paid. I actually paid
Yeah.
for 2 different plans. The rib set,
Right.
I paid for the F11 plan. So I'm
Yeah,
not
Randy.
asking for something I haven't paid for already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
Randy's
look
the
and
only
see
one
what I
that has
got and try
it.
to give you a call.
What was that, Phil?
I'll look and see what I've got and
All right.
try to give you a phone call. I don't I had a set SV11, but I think that's one of the plans that I loaned out and didn't get back. I've loaned out a lot of plans and never got them back. But if I do have them, I'll go get them scanned and send you a copy of them.
And the PDF, that'd be great. And
Yeah.
maybe, we get a lot of replays. There's a lot of people in the audience who'd watch the replay. So it's gonna, as time goes on, maybe someone might hear my request and might be able to help me out. And
I hope so.
But most of all, I hope that Randy Smith, I hope you're doing well and I hope you get better.
I hope he gets better.
That's the most important thing. It really is.
Yeah, I've heard from Ronnie Farmer that he was not doing real well a few weeks back. So I don't know. We'll just have to hope he's doing well, and remember him in your prayers, guys. You can't afford to lose many more.
Man.
Absolutely. So
yeah, that's not good, man.
Nope. So, anyways, my report is I went flying today. Like I said earlier, it's a trainable, it's a trainer, Stephen. I showed a picture of it a couple of weeks ago, and since then, I actually increased the size of the rudder.
Yeah.
That was a suggestion from Gordon Delaney, because when I was doing reverse wingovers, the plane I couldn't even see what it was doing. I couldn't tell what it was doing, if it was yawing or hinging. And something in me just said, maybe I need to increase the area of the rudder. Spoke to Gordon Delaney and I spoke to Dennis Adamis, and they all thought it was a good idea. So I increased the size of the rudder significantly, and then I gained some stability. So I've been trying to get this trainer, which is not a very good flying plane, because it's meant for help a new kid, be able to keep a plane.
Right.
So I'm trying to make a pig sing, And,
right.
That's lipstick on a pig.
Yes, trying to put lipstick on a pig, and I'm making progress. So I put the wedges on, the 2-degree wedges this weekend, flew it today, and even Joe Mata, who's watching, he said he could tell the plane was flying better. And what else have I done to it? I added a little bit more nose weight to try to get the stability. I mean, I did the 2 degrees, that helped. And I added a little bit more nose weight, and that helped a little bit too. So that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm trying to get the plane to fly good enough that I can actually use it to fly low, lower than I'm normally comfortable flying. But the plane needs to fly
is
good.
it, Charles?
I don't know what it's called. It's a friend of mine. He got some plans to this thing years ago. He's been making them for years. I have 2 of them already, and I asked him recently if he can make me 2 more. I'm hoping to. See, I hardly ever crash because I
knock on wood.
But no, I mean, I'm very careful. I'm probably too careful, and so I don't want to wreck my nice planes, living dangerously. So I want something that's inexpensive, that if I hit the deck, it's no big deal. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not financially a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Lynn catches me, knows what I'm saying. So I'm working on getting the plane that can fly, that can track good enough that I can actually get low. So that's kind of where I'm still lacking, but the plane is making progress. And today I did get low. I got too low sometimes, but it's working out. But I still hope to make it fly better, and hopefully the next time out, which might be tomorrow or Wednesday, for sure Friday, and hopefully that'll work. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think I said this before, but I love this quote by Albert Einstein: "Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results, is insanity."
Yeah.
And so every year I try to do something different to get better. I'm always striving to get better and better. I mean, I am serious as a heart attack about trying to get better. And I know that doing what I tried last time, you can say, practice more, or you can say, practice harder, concentrate, all these things. Yeah, I tried that last time. You try something different, so that's kind of why I'm going this route, which with this trainer, which I could easily replace it for less than $100, as opposed to trying to replace my SV11.
Yeah, no, forget that. There are no more.
Yeah, which is unobtainable, and
yeah.
So that's my approach. But you still need something that can fly good to do that. You just can't. You can't. It has to be a decent flying plane. It doesn't have to be great, but it has to be well behaved. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm progressing toward. It is getting better and better. So
you might want to check out Mikey's models. Mike Pratt, it's a PF, but I forget what the PF stands for on his.
Primary force?
Primary force, yeah.
Okay.
That's a flapless
starter. Yeah, actually, I have a primary force. I bought off my friend Stuart Mossman, the guy that actually makes this trainer. But this is really nice. I mean, it's I'm not sure, he used some film covering and then he painted with auto paint. It's really nice, did a really good job, but I really don't want to put that at risk. I really want something that I can afford to booger up and have a backup. The other thing is, when you have one plane, I mean, it's like it takes so long to get back to that level of trimming, so I want two planes that can fly. I have two of these trainers. So if I nick one up, I'll have another one. Hopefully I can go right back to it in the same day and continue on, as opposed to having all that downtime trying to build a new plane or trying to find or trim another one out, So
yeah,
that's my goal. So that's my report. That's what I've been up to. I see Howard Rush came in here. Hey, Howard, how you doing?
Okay.
What you been up to? You been flying on Circle One, or you making trophies and plaques? What you been up to?
Making trophies and plaques and pouring a concrete pad in the center of Circle One. I got the photos.
Oh,
that's nice. That'll be a nice addition.
Is it true you're going to be holding the Northwest Regionals in your backyard?
I told the neighbors I wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay. Even if it's all electric?
Yeah, even if it's all electric.
All right.
Howard, how's the dog coming?
Well, I put on a poly span on the patch and then took, so that's about where I am on that.
Not that you need help, Howard, but did you see that video from Roger Kramer? He did a presentation on how to put on polyspan.
I don't want to put it back on. I put it on.
Got to take it off, put it back on, Howard.
No, I'm going to leave it off.
Oh, okay.
But did anybody see that video, that presentation that
no, I didn't.
Roger Kramer? You might want to check it out. You saw it, Tryon?
Yeah, he know.
Yeah,
Peterson.
Oh, Peterson. Yeah, I'm Roger Kramer. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You are Mom.
No, you're right. It was Kramer. But Peterson knows how to do that too.
Yeah, that's
the only hard thing about polyspan is making darn sure you don't put the fuzzy side up.
Right.
It's not the worst thing that could happen.
Well, it can be overcome. But
Worst thing that happens, you burn a hole in it while you're shrinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take it easy with it. If you put your monocoat gun to tighten it on what you're used to working with monocoat with, you're going to have little holes all in it. A hair dryer and take it easy is all you need.
Oh,
well,
something not near that hot.
Roger uses an iron.
Well, an iron will work because iron won't get that hot either. But if you do go take two of the guys that have called me and said, "Hey, you told me about this stuff and it's terrible," and I drove over to check them out and see what they done, and they had holes all in it. I said, "What did you use?" And he had this iron, monocoat iron, like mine. If it's here somewhere, it's like mine. And I looked at the back end of it, and the thing was plumb closed down. I said, "What did I tell you?" I said, "Wide open." That's what I got it, wide open. All the heat it'll make. I said, "No, wide open," and I opened it for him. Don't, hold it back, way back here. You hold it back. Instead of putting it 3 inches from it, put it 7, 8 inches from it and take it easy, real easy with it. And he looked at me like, "Oh my God." But we ended up taking the polish pan off and sanding everything down. And I was going to spend an hour or two over there and ended up spending the whole day. But we got him back to where he was and then got it tightened down. And I told him, just leave it like that. Don't tighten it again unless it wrinkles. Just start putting dope on it. And when it starts looking shiny, you're done. Put your blocking coat on it, put a coat of paint on it, clear it, and you're done. Unless you want to trim it out. And he don't trim anything. He just makes it where to fly, and he goes in and flies it. So I'm hoping he's going to be out flying with the guys this year. He lives over in Greensboro, but I don't know what the deal is. He used to fly with us many moons ago, but then he moved away and he came back. Instead of coming to Winston, he went to Greensboro. He said, "Well, I figured if Winston's got a hobby park, Greensboro's got a better one." No, sorry about that. No. So anyway, you just can't. You can tell them, but you can't tell them much.
Yep, that happens. Yeah, I got something from Brent Williams. He says almost 5,000 views of that Polyspan video in the last 5 days.
Wow.
What's it? Wow. What is it and where is it? I'll watch it so I can.
It's on Stunthangar.
It's on Stunthangar. Okay. I'll look it up tomorrow then. Maybe it'll be something I tell people about.
5,000 views. Wow. In the last 5 days. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. What do you got there, Stuart? And you're muted, by the way.
Luster coat.
Oh yeah, man. I have a few cans of that, Les.
Well, I picked up 3 of these, but I think I'm going to go back and get the rest because how good is this? Like do you have to put a clear coat on this after or no?
I think.
Go ahead, Howard.
I think that and my and that blue stuff that everybody like are my 2 unfavorite things.
Oh, you thinking of Superfill?
Superfill.
Yeah. Howard's had bad experience with Superfill.
And Luster.
I've used that Luster coat, and it matches the monocoat very well.
You and Howard both.
It's pretty
My wife
good.
hates Super.
So would you put clear dope on first and then this?
No.
Well, I did.
No? Just
no.
Yes.
Philip did.
I did.
I did.
I'd follow the instructions. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I kind of read through it and then I wasn't 100% sure on a few things. I can't remember. It was.
I just remember they haven't made that stuff in years. I bought 4 cans of it. Not a one of them would spray.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about it was the nozzle. The nozzle did not give me a good spray, a good consistent spray.
Yeah.
So you might want to gently heat it up and maybe continue to take off the nozzle and clean it in acetone MUK or something. I don't know what you'd need to clean it
That's
with.
plastic. That'll probably melt it.
Yeah, don't listen to what I'm saying, but you need to clean it with something to get that nozzle to spray. That was the biggest problem I had, was the sputtering and the spitting.
Okay. Well, I got a couple Cox planes. Maybe I'll experiment that the kids were making for them. So
Yeah.
I'll try it on that. See what happens. Just spray it on. I don't know. Maybe I won't even bother putting dope on first. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll spoil whatever it goes on. So
okay.
That of course, I did not follow instructions. I've been reprimanded for not following instructions with Lester. So, perhaps if I'd followed instructions, it would have been better. But I don't think I'll take the risk. I have a couple of cans of it sitting there a while. You can have it if you want it. Come get
it. I'll take the pony over.
Okay.
Yeah, I had one plane, Stuart, that I painted. I think I used that luster coat, and it never cured. It was sticky even after several weeks. That was my only bad experience. But I had better experience with another color. But my yellow luster coat, it did not cure. It's never cured. I don't know if it was defective or.
It is, yeah. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I guess obviously, right?
Oh
well,
we'll experiment on the Cox planes. See what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, let your grandkids spray it.
Yeah.
Might not make any difference who sprays it.
No, I'm gonna let them do it actually, or I'll do it with them, kind of.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I think it's great.
Yeah, just make sure the nozzle's pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Why? You don't get it on an airplane.
Yeah, that's what we usually shoot for.
Hey, Lenny, how's Naomi's playing?
Did you hear that, Lynn?
What's that?
John is asking, how's the twisterette?
Nothing happening. Can't paint it until the weather gets better here, and we'll have to paint it outside. Naomi can't be around dope or epoxy or any of that stuff right now. It just makes her very allergic. And the worst thing is super fill. So Howard, you and Naomi are on the same page. Get rid of the damn super fill.
I used it.
I like super
in the house on the outside, and Mary Lou got after me for making the house ugly.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, it's
I think Gary's.
Yeah, Gary's a thing, but he hasn't been feeling good, so he probably is lacking in some rest.
He's okay.
Let me say hi to Carl. Hey, Carl, how you doing? Carl, go ahead and say something. You're not muted. Go ahead and see if that works. Yeah, it's not working.
no sound.
No sound.
No hear, nothing.
You wouldn't be running a Windows 7 computer, would you?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so Carl, if you go down to where the mute is, and there's an arrow there next to the mute, if you click on that arrow, that up arrow, you can
He's connecting the audio.
If you go down there to where the microphone is in the bottom left corner, there's an arrow. If you click on that, a menu will pop up, and you can switch your. You might be able to change your audio settings.
We lost Gary.
Just play with that for a while. There's even a select microphones. You might need to change the microphone selection. You see that? Hey, Philip, I muted you because the background noise, Philip.
That's all right. I got to go anyway, guys. I got an 8 o'clock doctor's appointment. Everybody have a great one. We'll see you Friday.
All right. Take care, man. See you Friday.
Take care.
Too.
Yeah.
You too.
You bet.
I see he's connecting audio. Try it again, Carl. Nope, still don't hear you. Yep, that happens. And our friend Gordon Delaney, he couldn't get in here for some reason. So technical difficulties sometimes make things difficult for us. I have a message from Jonathan Carradas, who's also a member of our YouTube channel. He says, "Hi guys, just watching for the moment, I think." And missing Dennis Adam missing. He said he'd try to come in here, even though he's in Tucson for the VSC. I know. I wonder if this time change screwed him up, because we had to set our clocks an hour ahead.
Well, Arizona is non-daylight savings time. They don't use it. So
I know, but he came from Fort Worth, Indiana, which is 3 hours ahead of us. So it's probably messed him all up.
Well, actually, he's 2 hours ahead of us. Which
Oh man.
Does anybody have Dennis Adam Misson's phone number? They can give him a call and see if maybe he's unaware that we're on. He might be thinking
he might be sleeping.
I don't know. Maybe
he might be rebuilding too. You know.
Oh, don't
let's
not to wish him anything bad.
Let's not go there.
Well, might not be his plane. He might be helping somebody else out.
Yeah, that's right. Because he's such a gentleman. He probably is helping somebody else.
Yeah.
Build their plane. And we have Jonathan Carradas, again, who's a member of our YouTube channel. Sparky and I really appreciate everybody, but especially those who support us. And he has a moniker next to his name, and we know that he supports us financially. So thank you very much, Jonathan. And he goes on to say, "Hey, John, don't make computer jokes sound like a computer glitch on the flight deck yesterday of a flight from Sydney to Auckland. Plane dropped like a rock. A bunch of folks ended up in the hospital. Oh my goodness.
Good grief.
Wow, that is some terrible turbulence. That is terrible. I've heard of those stories, and thank God I've never experienced that. I know my mom experienced that. She was hell-bent not getting on an airplane ever again. And Mike Lonke says, Luster Coat has its own primer, colors, and clear. It's not compatible with dope, either over or under it. If you use all three exclusively, you won't have a problem. We've used it on many profile fused planes." Did you get that, Stuart?
Well, I did.
I did. I'll have to check to see if there's any primer for it. If I'm going to go back and pick up the rest of it, so I'll check and see. But yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah. So don't put dope under it or over it, or you're going to have a problem.
Okay.
That might have been why mine never cured. I probably had dope underneath it.
Okay. All right. We'll see what I can come up with. I'm gonna go back and see what else is there and bring it and get a hold of it. So then hopefully there'll be some primer and clear. Let's see.
Mike Lonke, thank you very much. That's good to know. And then Philip Bailey gave us a like. Thank you, Philip. Appreciate that. And then wow, we got some sound out of you, Carl.
Hey, how am I working now?
Yeah, you working now.
Okay. I found the magic button, I guess.
Well, that's good. Well, maybe in the after party you can really take off and have a real good conversation.
Yeah, really.
So how did you fix it in case someone else has a similar?
I just started looking at stuff and clicking on clicking on stuff that didn't make sense to me, and I got lucky.
Up all night to get lucky.
I do that when I do that when I fly stunt, Carl.
That is not true.
Just change the handle, move it around. Oh yeah, it flies better.
So Aura says, I clean my spray nozzles all the time in acetone or MEK. The plastic holds up to the solvents. Luster coat and Formula U normally takes days to cure. Thank you, Aura. Hey, we're getting
like great stuff.
Hey, thanks, Stuart. I mean, this is great. We're learning about luster coat.
Did he say he used acetone? Was it?
Yeah, acetone and MEK. And he says it doesn't affect the plastic nozzle.
What's did you say NEK?
I'm sorry, MEK.
NBK. I've never heard of that.
M as in M as in methanol or methanol.
You can't get it here anymore.
Probably
can't get it. It's Mike Echo Kilo. It's methyl ethyl ketone.
Thank you, Tryon.
There you go.
Very good. Methyl ethyl ketone.
You don't need to get that MEK. Exactly you don't need to get MEK, Stuart. It's has some strong VOCs. It's really it's not something you want to breathe a lot of. So if you can get acetone,
I've got some
fine. I use MEK. I go outside and I try to limit my exposure to it. It is really strong.
That's what you cut the paint with.
You use a mask at all?
Yeah, but it is. If you don't have to use it,
do you have a proper mask, or are you just using a paper thing, or like a?
No, you gotta have a respirator.
I don't remember. I don't.
Respirator.
Show you this. You need one with a carbon.
You need a respirator.
Yeah. The reason you don't remember is because you used it.
Because of the MEK. Exactly. That's why I don't remember.
I got one of these masks, and they got these screw-on carbon.
Oh, that looks good.
That's exactly what you need, brother. You got it. You got it.
Why don't you just go back to dope and stop doing that stuff? Like really?
Wow, that's pretty.
If I get any luster coat, I'll send it your way.
It was
exactly
free.
what you need right there.
I already have this, so I should be okay.
Perfect.
You guys want to see some progress?
Yeah, let me see some progress. Let me make you big here, Tryon. Just a second. Let me find you. Okay, here you are. Woo! Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Don't put fingerprints in it.
Wow.
Just teasing.
Wow, very nice. Yeah.
Man.
You're gonna pull some nice parts off of that.
Trying to make a 20-point finish?
Bro, how you get it shiny like that?
Just wax and buff it up.
Wax it
and I polished it all the way up to 7,000 grit sandpaper.
Yeah.
And then I buff it out with buffing compound, the same thing that Sparky uses. The 39062 from 3M. And after that, it's just wax and several layers of wax right now. And this is the
wax on, wax off.
Nice.
That's impressive.
What's the mold made of? What material?
This is PP1052.
Okay, French to me, but that's okay.
It's a polyurethane special compound that's machinable.
Oh, okay.
So I bought the block like this, and I machine it on a CNC machine, and then just polished after that.
Okay, I thought you might have had a poured mold of some sort. I didn't know. Oh, okay.
That's no. This is just I picked up this material because it's polishable, right? So plastic is very hard to polish and clean.
Okay.
But this is specially formulated for that.
Okay. Yep.
And it's a polyurethane block, the same thing that molds are made out of, and So you can see my alignment pins here. I have one here, one there, and that's all there's to it.
That's very impressive.
Yep. And I also have the flaps built into it, if you see.
Yeah, I see it.
So when I pull the part out, I have flaps, hinge line, wing, everything is done.
Wow. That's awesome.
And you can paint it in the mold.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Right now I'm gonna try the PVA, the tried and true PVA. A lot of people are doing just wax only on a very nice seasoned mold. You can just do wax only and paint in a mold like that. So that'll be my next step to try. But for now, I'm just gonna do PVA, maybe one coat of something. I may do some fading out on the edges here. It's something that doesn't require masking anyways, right? So I can do the background color and everything, and after that, when I pull out the parts, I can just mask it off again and put some stripes or whatever.
That's cheating.
Hey, Charles?
Yeah, Stuart?
No, that's Carl.
Hi.
Oh, you said Carl.
Yeah. Getting back to that MEK, you don't want to mess with that stuff because that's what they made. They use that to make the glue for ABS pipe, the black pipe you see at Home Depot. That's what glue they use that to make the glue the fittings together. And what it does is that it gets in between your skin cells and into your body. It's real nasty stuff, so I would stay away from it.
Yeah,
just a little bit of information there.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I was suggesting, Stuart, too. Also, if you don't have to use it, I wouldn't use it.
Yeah,
the only thing I like about MEK is that it doesn't evaporate so quickly. Like when I'm cleaning fuel tanks, if I use acetone, next thing I know, the acetone's all dried, evaporated off, but the MEK stays wet for a while, and it really helps me clean when I've made tanks. But that's I have a gallon I got from Jim Hoffman. I bought it, but he brought it over to California. I couldn't get it in California, but I sparingly use it. I don't use it very much.
Yeah, right.
Plus, all the guys who have no hair use stuff like that. They use, all the funny glues and all the good stuff, like me and Charles and Stuart.
Is that what happened?
We're just so smart.
What happened?
What can I say?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I used to work in a paint booth painting real airplanes, and we used to go through 5-gallon buckets of that shit on a daily basis. Use MEK for all kinds of stuff. It's good stuff, but you can't get it in California anymore because of the toxic chemical composition of it.
Yeah,
you can't put dirty soapy water in the drain in California. You'll go to jail for it. It's against the law.
They used to use it in the airplane factory where we worked, and we'd drive past the factory building on the way home, and Marilyn would say, "Hey, that smells good." So
Hell yeah.
You liked how it smelled? The MEK?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't remember how it smells. I haven't cracked my can open in probably in at least a year and a half. Like I said, I only use it when I don't want the evaporation to evaporate really quickly.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, John.
Well, hey, if you want to know what it's
Charles,
say if you want to know what it smells like, go out and buy a small can of ABS glue and open it up and take a whiff of it. You'll understand what we're talking about.
All right. Thank
What's
you.
the matter with John?
I'm kind of tired. I'm gonna move out. So
all right. Hey, thanks, John, for coming in, man. I appreciate
great being here,
John.
Yeah, absolutely. Great
Night,
that
John.
you have a good computer again, and now you can really participate. So thank you. Hope you feel better.
You bet you. Take care, guys.
Take care, man.
See you, John.
Good night.
And we got a hi all from John Pohl. Hey, John Pohl. I think this is your first time that I remember seeing your handle. But thanks for coming in. John, do you fly control line or RC? Let me know what you do. And hi, Mike Lonke. Thanks for coming in, Mike Lonke. Thanks for your tips on the luster coat.
Yeah, I just want to add, Sam and I finished a whole bunch of profile airplanes for him when he first started using luster coat. You know, we'd monocoat the wings and then just use luster coat on the fuse and tail. And as long as you use their primer, their color, and their clear, that stuff is rock solid, man. It really was. It gave a really good finish. But you couldn't like dope your fuse and then spray luster coat on it. It'll bubble up. And you can't use luster coat and then spray it with clear dope because it'll bubble up. But if you use that whole product line all the way, it's just fine. And you don't have to use the primer and you don't have to use the clear. You can use just the gloss colors. You're just going to have to put more of it on because you're not putting a primer on. But it's fine. Just use all three or use just the color. Just don't mix it with anything else. And it won't shrink silk span or anything like that. You know, it's just for wood surfaces. That's it. It's only for wood surfaces.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike. And Mark, what are you holding up there? Are you holding up some SV11 plans?
I wish they were. No, it's that edge. But I will hold up something that I forgot about.
All right.
It's sitting right here. Some of us are lucky enough to be friends with John Simpson, and who is just an absolute gentleman, a great designer and builder and flyer. And I guess a couple of years ago at Triple Tree, he gave me one of his Cavaliers. And Craig Gunder has been flying it. Craig gave it back to me this weekend. I have the Aero Tiger 36 to go in it. The plane is probably, I'm guessing, maybe 10 or 12 years old. I'll just show it to you. It's beautiful and incredibly light. Let's see if you can see it here.
Oh, wow, that's pretty.
That's beautiful.
That is pretty.
Outstanding.
And it's look how thin the fuselage is in the back.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
And if you could, if my clarity was better, the hinges are cloth.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
They're under the paint.
Is that an Aries?
I'm sorry?
Is that an
Cavalier?
Cavalier. Oh.
Cavalier.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
That's gorgeous. Wow, Mark, that's beautiful. Holy.
So it's a wonderful flying airplane. And not only that, but John, custom built this, and he had a custom build of fuel tanks. And plus they have a different width in the front and the back. And he was nice enough to lay one up for me and send it to me.
That's very nice.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
You have the fuel tank? I want to see that fuel tank.
Let me get it.
Probably wider in the front and probably tapers towards the canopy.
Yeah, that's what I think. But I want to see if he has the end cap on the outside or the end caps on the inside.
Right back.
Yeah, that's sure a beautiful airplane.
That is.
I'll bet it's light too.
Yeah, Jonathan Carradas, who's a member of our YouTube channel, he says, "Take care, John. Not many of us Luke Skywalker's left now." Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate that.
Okay. Let's see. Here's the tank. It's 4 1/4 ounces.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Okay. And if you look carefully, you can see.
I can see it. I can
see the top dimension. Yeah, it's thinner than the bottom.
It's tapering.
And that's what it looks like.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So it gave me that. And then Craig, fortunately, had you need to extend the crankshaft a little bit.
Right.
For the length of the nose?
Yeah. So he gave me an extender.
Oh, nice. Oh. That's a nice one. I haven't seen that before. That one.
I'm sure he machined it. He's a tremendous machinist.
That's custom right there.
Yeah,
That's
that one's nice.
That's real custom.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to putting that back in and getting that thing in the air. It's just this Pampa stuff gets in my way.
Yeah, I know. And we appreciate how hard you work, Mark. That is true. It takes away your time of enjoyment of flying and building.
Well, it's like I say to Dave Fitzgerald and those guys that they thank me for doing all this because otherwise I'd be challenging them at the Worlds.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'd be right up there.
True. You would be.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm doing.
Thank you very much for sharing. I love that.
Yeah, Mark, if you weren't so tied down, guys like Howard would be shaking.
Oh, I know. You mean laughing, right?
I got the anyhow. It's because the MEK.
Yeah.
The MEK.
It's just the MEK.
Yeah. You know what? That's what we're going to blame from now on is use MEK.
It's the MEK that got us.
Yeah.
It was the ketones that did it.
Yeah. It's like I meant to get this done, but I was using some MEK.
I'm gonna say that to Naomi tomorrow, and she's gonna go, "What is he talking about?"
Better send some to Mark.
Oh my God, too much MEK.
I was gonna pick you up, darling.
Boy, did I join the right chat room or what?
Yeah. Hey, Dennis, how you doing?
Hanging in there.
How do you get that smell from the glue when you used it?
Danny, you don't sound good.
I don't know.
Doesn't look good either.
No, he doesn't.
Well, let's get personal, guys.
Well, we don't.
I can't help that part.
Yeah,
oh man,
got to make his way in here. Yeah, your camera's not enabled. I don't think, Dennis.
And well, you guys, I thought would be happy for that. I'm using my phone. And I wonder how I do that then.
It's the best you've ever looked.
Yeah, terrific.
You have to select the camera option when you join the meeting, don't you?
I thought I did. All right. Well, there ought to be a way of doing it after is it
At the bottom of the
is there a
screen?
way to activate the camera? I don't have any of the menu stuff on the bottom of the screen. I don't know.
I don't know how an iPhone works. I have an Android system, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm going to follow Steve's advice. Maybe I should just get out and restack and
I think
came
that's
in really fast.
Yeah, try, but you had it working Friday. And he's in your hotel.
Okay, yeah, I did. Let's see. Wait a minute. Where'd it go? Back to meetings. Sign in. Cancel.
You didn't happen to use MEK earlier before you came in the show, did you?
No. I had some Chick-fil-A, but that's not MEK. So.
Chick-fil-A's, MEKs.
All right.
Goodness.
Look at Mike go on that PT-19.
I know. I'm checking that out. Maybe make him big.
Something.
That brings back some of my favorite childhood memories.
Yeah, me too.
There you go.
Nice.
Look
at that.
Perry swap meet last weekend down in Georgia. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before. Scored a whole bunch of good stuff down there, and I was able to get all these parts for $60, enough to build pretty much a brand new one. I had the engine and the mount and everything, so I'm just putting everything together right now. So I got a PT-19 for $60.
Wow.
Nice job, Mike.
And this is going to be a flyer. We'll use this one in the backyard,
That's awesome.
Nice.
And by the way, it does a pretty good loop. I've got one and it loops beautifully.
Yeah, they'll loop just fine if you put it up on the horn on the elevator. You get on the closest one on the elevator, and the other, the later models had this novice and inverted on the engine. You can change.
You tilt it up or down. Yeah.
Expert.
Yeah. Yeah. And this one has one. So, yeah, I don't know when we'll fly it. I'm just getting it all together because I had all the parts and, just farting around.
It is cool.
Sweet.
I have a comment from Jonathan Carradas. He says, I like the front end of that Argus cousin. I think he's referring to your Cavalier, Mark.
Yes.
And then he goes on to say, Dennis, hi. Thought you said you can't help how you look, but that we're a self-made man. Ha ha.
Well, yeah, boy, there's a punchline in there, and you would kick me right out if I said something. All right. I'm not going there. All right.
Well, you know what, Dennis, if you can't show your face, that's okay. We hear you. And
is there any way I can show? I was hoping I could get to my photo thing and show you some pictures from around here.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Oh, Lordy. Back to meeting.
Let me read a message from Marcel Legrand while you work on that, Dennis. Marcel Legrand says, hi, Charles, and everyone at Stunt School. Thank you very much, Marcel Legrand. Hey, we got some nice...
there he is.
Dennis.
There he is.
There he is.
You got it.
All right, I got the regular menu.
Turn your phone.
I got the regular menus here. No, there's share. Only the host can share this meeting.
Oh, hang on, let me fix that. Thank you. I got caught. Let me fix that here. Alrighty. All right, there you go, Dennis.
Share photos. Let's start. Oh. I guess I got to select all the photos I want to share.
Dennis, is your wife with you?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. I'd rather see her.
All right.
Okay, is that?
Yeah.
All right, that's our buddies Jim Hoffman with his insanely beautiful Lunar.
Yeah.
And good buddy Joe there telling him he should build a Ringmaster. Chris Brainerd from, I believe, Denver, Stellaris. It's
nice.
It's a Tom Dixon airplane. It's supposed to be a combination of a Stiletto and an Aries. And I can see, I can pick out Stiletto elements. I can't see anything that reminds me of an Aries. So I don't know exactly how he did there. Mark Gerber is flying his Charles Parrott Ryan PT-20. It's published about 64, I think. Nice. That's the designer. He did this, a really nice P-40, a nice P-47, all roughly the same size. They're all roughly, they're basically nobler sized airplanes. That I think they're all Fox 35s. And Mark this is actually an older airplane. You just can't believe how beautiful it is. All right, just a group shot. This is, I don't know who's minding the state of Colorado, but they're all here. Chris Brainerd's in a red sweatshirt. Mark Gerber looks like he wants to be somebody else. And not sure I'm not sure who the other two guys are. Okay, here's a random ringmaster. One of the Colorado ringmasters. And you guys recognize that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Crosso's Chisler.
It's good. Keith is a exquisite builder. It isn't. You're not looking at like it's got a knee-deep finish on it or everything. But everything you look at it, the closer you look at it, it gets prettier. You know what I mean? It's just all the little detail work on it is just insane. And there's the lunar. It's we were discussing whether it was coral or salmon. And anyhow, Jim Rhodes from it's one of John Miller's friends from Utah. He built a Jerry Worth Epitrix. This is the airplane. Bill Werwich saw this airplane. He rebuilt his original USA 1 to basically copy this look with the fin and the deep fuselage and everything like that. A gentleman named Rick Green he shows up in Las Vegas too. I think
he's
I'm
from
not
Arizona.
sure where he's from. Okay, you know Rick? Yeah, you must. Yeah. Really a neat guy.
He's a good dude.
John Callentine is a Tucson area builder. This is a Rave Mustang. That's just beautifully built too.
Oh yeah.
He lost the muffler head, the muffler stack that plugs into his header today, and we had a pretty good search on it before we figured it out, or before we found it. All right, Chris McMillan, who's been with us several times, and Keith, of course, doesn't want to be bothered. So Keith is a lot of fun to fly with. You talk about a guy who's into his rituals on things like starting routines and stuff like that. I mean, the guy is right on it every time, and he's just when he gets into that zone, it's like he's not even there. He's just so focused on what's happening. And this is Chris's Gieske Nobler.
Nice.
Very pretty. It's an older airplane, I think, but it's really pretty. He's got a LA-46 in it now that sounds like a freaking John Deere. It just really, really sounds and flies great. You seen that old surfboard there? So.
Oh, there we go. Nice looking gypsy.
Yeah. Well, I have. What am I up to? Got to be. I think must be about 18 flights now, and we're becoming best friends. So right. Very nice flying airplane. I'm very happy with it. And that's everything.
Wow.
That's everything I got so far. I'm a little surprised. I thought there'd be more people here than there are. Just I thought there'd be more people showing up by now. I got here on Friday, and Keith and I were the only ones flying Friday, and then Saturday 1 or 2 people showed up, and Sunday, and Jim Hoffman isn't here full time yet. He actually lives in Phoenix, about an hour and a half away. He showed up the last 3 days, I think. He setting things up,
right.
And he comes in the morning, and we go to lunch, and then he hops in the car and heads back to Phoenix. I guess he's coming in tomorrow to stay. So he set up the hotel. He set up the Hampton Inn, nicely done. Good place. Real pretty thing. Let's see.
How's your weather?
It's been good. It's funny, the desert weather. It's like 35 degrees at 7 a.m. and it's at 70 at 11 or so. And it's kind of funny. You can tell who the Midwestern guys are. We're the ones walking around with shorts and t-shirts, and all the Arizona people are wearing parkas and blankets and everything like that. But actually looked a lot like Stephen, I think. That yeah, all wrapped up. But Jim Renkar and Larry Lindbergh from Chicago, Peoria, Illinois area. They come down. They spectate. I call them Waldorf and I can't remember the other guy. Do you remember the Muppet Show? The old guys in the balcony.
Oh,
he's got yeah, the guy, the commentary, and always laugh. Well, Jim and Larry will sit back there. They'll be under a tent, and they're just looking and they're kind of talking like that. They're smoking these big, nasty cigars. I mean, they're perfect. All right, they're perfect.
Farley brothers.
Just he says you can really tell the Midwestern people around there too, because we're the only ones that all look like we haven't been in the sun for 6 months.
Yeah.
We're all the pearly whites, if you will. So the true crackers or whatever. But anyhow,
the true crackers.
Yeah, that's it. Except no imitation. But I don't know. It's fun. It's fun flying airplanes. Yeah, that's
I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to get there tomorrow.
Are you going to be there tomorrow?
Yeah, I was supposed to be there today, but I had an accident in the middle of the night with my mother. I had to call the ambulance and stuff. And
oh boy,
she had a real bad low blood. Yeah, she's all right. She had a real bad low blood sugar last night.
Oh,
her sugar got down to like 20, and I couldn't.
I
needed help. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
So I think
it's
I got
kind
it
of funny.
situated.
I had a day like that when I was traveling. I ate real light all day, 13 hours on the road. And I had some low sugar alerts, which absolutely, but mine, I think I hit a bottom of 57, and I was kind of panicky because it was like I never encountered lows. I'm always high. I'm never low. And I was not sure what to do. That's all. But anyhow, I had 2 13-hour days and followed by a 3-hour day. So it wasn't that bad. And thank Charles and my friend Larry Fruits. We, they called me up and talked me down the road. I got help from them, and then of course, the mainstays, the Count, the Duke, and the King of Swing.
Right.
Allman Brothers and whatever else, and anyhow, we're all set up for a good time here. So
that's great. Has that the mobile hobby shop arrived there yet?
Not hobby shop per se. Let's see, Mark Smith is here. He's got some old engines and stuff he's selling. Jim Lee just got here around 4 o'clock. He didn't even set up. I think he set up his tent frame, and that's about it. So he hasn't set up any kind of a shop yet. I think it was Mark Smith had a profile Cavalier. Electric profile Cavalier covered in that Doculam stuff, the clear stuff.
Yeah.
And he was selling it for $50.
Wow.
Oh,
that's cheap.
It didn't last very long. So
yeah, that's gone in a second, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
The balsa's worth more than that.
That's it. The thing was in the all clear Doculam. Looked really, really nice. You could have gone in with like I'd have gone just some monocoat striping and stuff like that. You could have done a really neat looking airplane out of that. But
cool.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, Ryan. Thank you, buddy.
You're flying airplanes this time of year. This is very unlike where I come from. So I'm having a good time. So
that's good.
So anyhow,
last time I was there, I forgot his business, but it's a van, and he's a mobile hobby shop, and he sets up a hobby shop. And matter of fact, I bought some vintage stuff there, and he uses the old prices too. So whatever the price tag is on some of these old stuff, he sells it for that price.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of the business.
Yeah, do you know where he's from or anything like that? I wonder if he just hasn't made it in yet.
Yeah, he's probably hasn't made it. He's from way back. He drove quite a distance. He drives all over the nation. He goes to big contests.
I've seen him at Brodax. He's a pretty amazing guy.
Yeah, I think he's from New Jersey.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If he shows up, walk through his hobby shop. You'll find something that you can't live without.
Yeah, and he's very organized.
Yeah, especially because he still sells a Sig Twister for $62 and a Skyray for $48.
Yeah.
Out of his van. Wow. No, I'm dead serious, man.
I bought some 10.6 rev up props from him, and the old vintage. When you have your starter and you got that little plastic container that holds the batteries. I bought that container off of him, and
I think his name is Bill.
Yeah, I think you're right. I was thinking Bob or Bill or something, and I don't have his card.
He's been at Joe Nall a couple times, and he's been at Brodax a couple times.
Yes, he has.
And I was like, how can you sell this stuff like straight out of the catalog, man? Like I said, a Twister, $62, no shipping, no tax.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Well, they'd say there have not been. I guess I expected more people here by now, but they did push the start of the competition. I was here 2 years ago, and I think we started competing on Tuesday, and this year we're going to compete on Wednesday. So I guess I'm expecting tomorrow maybe it's going to start getting busy around there. So
yeah, I hope it will kick off, and next you have a really good time.
So
I got a message from Jonathan Caradas. He says, "Sorry guys, love to." I think my chat there's a heart that's right in the middle of some of these people's texts. I think he says, "Love to stay, but got to shoot through. Cheers, take care." Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate you coming in.
Good night, Jonathan. So. Yeah, I would have joined you sooner, but I was all set to join at 10 o'clock, Eastern time.
Yeah, that's what we
suspected. Then it finally dawned on me that was probably not the right time to join. So anyhow.
That's what I suspected. I actually was tempted to give you a call, let you know where it's on. I know you said he's going to try to make it back here Monday. And I just figured with the time change, because I had to set my clocks forward an hour out here in California. Mm-hmm. I don't know where Tucson is, if they never, I know some parts
they don't change. I'm actually on your time zone now.
All right.
I think. Yeah. Fantastic. It's what time is it right now? It's about 8:45.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just here cooking batteries and get ready for tomorrow. So
have a good time.
I am
trying to show us, Stuart. Let me
Yeah, this has got a Cobra on it, 2808-22. And it's got a what do they call it when the blades the other way?
Backwards prop, pusher prop.
Yeah, pusher prop.
Clockwise prop.
Now, is that because that was on here? I was wondering if he ran it in reverse. Like the motors, you can run both ways, right? On these,
right? Yeah, if you don't run it in reverse, you get a rude awakening. Let's put it that way. So they don't take off very well backwards unless they're designed for it. So but yeah, seriously, somewhere along the line, and preferably outside, start up the motor before you get to the field and just make sure it's pushing air the right direction.
So you can use it then. In other words, you just run it instead of clockwise, counterclockwise, right?
Yeah, with an outrunner motor, you can actually switch back and forth between a conventional prop and a pusher prop just by it's got 3 wires that come out of the ESC to the motor, right?
That's what
I thought. You switch any 2, it doesn't matter which ones, switch any 2 of those wires, and it reverses the rotation of the motor.
Okay. I just wondered if it would be okay to do that and run that prop. So maybe that's just what I'll do. That was what the guy had on it. So I'll just do
Yeah,
that.
the only thing I would suggest is, take a look at how many of them you have. Just one of them, and you have a whole bunch of tractors or something like that. You might want to set it up with the other ones, but
well, I'll do
because
this.
it's really embarrassing to break a prop, change it, and then realize too late that it's the opposite rotation. So
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I guess I did.
I can just change the 2 wires and put another prop on.
Exactly.
Right.
Does that mean you figured out your timer and everything like that?
Not yet. I gotta order it. I'm just
Okay.
trying to finish it off, get it it's ready to go pretty much now. So
yeah, it looked like it. So looks like you have it all there. So
yeah, so I'm hoping to teach my grandkids with it. So that's what it's for. We'll see.
Very cool. Hey, Dennis, I have a question for you, Dennis. I was seeing my friend Joe Mata, and he has a modified Nobler ARF.
Right.
And modified to look more like a Strega, believe it or not. And Joe is trying to figure out how to configure it. He has the motor loose, and it's an RSM 3540. And I don't know if you know what you'd recommend as far as it has a KR governor and it has an ESC. I'm sure it's a BTW or ZTW.
He's probably got the regular RSM package, right?
Yeah. So what
like
prop should he use and what battery should he use?
For a Nobler, I'd go with a 10 or 11-inch prop. Frankly, the neat thing about the motor, about the electric motor, is that it will easily run on too small a prop without running away or anything like that. And the motor he's got, if that's a 35, probably a 3542 or 3548.
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember what RSM had. I think they had a 3548, which is like a 2826 Cobra, and that'll turn up to a 12-inch prop. So, but the Nobler, I'd put an 11.5 on it, an 11.5 APC or something like that, whatever you guys can get out there. Can you get Zors?
Yeah.
Okay, you may just try a Zor. I'm a fan of pusher props, I like pusher props on everything. But he doesn't have to do that, unless he wants it. I'd say go for what, get a couple of whatever he wants. If he wants another way to get the Zor prop is if he was to order some from Innovative Designs, their badass prop line are basically made by Zor. They're very nice props. So.
Okay.
Good night, guys.
You out of here, Steven. Hey, have a safe trip, man.
Hey, safe trip.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Dennis. Night.
Good night. Well, Charles, you've got experience programming the KR and everything, don't you?
Yeah, I do. So I sure do.
So I'd say it sounds like Joe's going to be in good shape there.
Yeah, I just wasn't
Try the 11-inch prop and see how it flies. One thing about classic airplanes is, they usually have like smallish tails and stuff like that, and they don't always respond to having really big. They don't respond well to having really big props. So that's why Nobler was flown with a Fox 35 and a 10.6 prop, and that's not a bad thing, even if you go to electric, you run the same system. So
right. Yeah, I was trying to see how many kV that motor is, but I'm on the RSM website and I can't see.
I think it was a 4-cell motor. That's what they sold it with, wasn't it? A 4-cell 3000 pack or something like that.
Yeah, we don't have the batteries, so we don't know what was in it. I just remember seeing it fly because actually it was what was his name? Kevin McElroy. It was his plane. And
okay, if the motor should be for a 4-cell, it really needs to be like a 900 or more, maybe a little more, not a lot more.
All right. Hopefully Joe Mata is listening. Hopefully. And
does the RSM site say what the kV of the motor is?
No, it just I'm looking at a competition package. I don't know. I need to see the parts separate.
Well, okay. In the competition package, what kind of battery did they have in it?
Let me see here. Okay.
I'd guess that you could fly it with a 4S 2500, something in that neighborhood.
Oh, well, this is for this is the middle, this is the mid range, not the big planes, not the small planes, but in the middle. And it says that it's a I think I saw 1400 kV 3-cell LiPo.
1400 kV. Wow. Yeah, definitely 3-cell. Probably a 3-cell 3000.
Okay. But it doesn't say 3540. I think it's a different, I don't know. Maybe I'll look around the website a little more maybe after the show. But yeah. Anyways.
Well, okay, if it's a 1400 kV and mid-size, you say whoever this airplane was something that somebody had flown before?
Yeah, I actually seen it fly, and I remember it did not have enough power. I mean, he could just fly level. He really couldn't do any maneuvers, and it would just basically stop after a while. It couldn't do the full. It couldn't even fly longer than 5 minutes, and then it would stop. So he had something wrong in his setup, and it was just a source of frustration for him,
Mm-hmm.
See, unlike me, right. I called you up and I did what you said, and I bought the SV11 because you set that up for electric. So I really did not have the kind of outcomes that other people have had.
Yeah, maybe you need to dig a little deeper and find out what their motor size is then.
Yeah. All right. I just
send me a text or something like that, and I'll see if I can help you out that way.
Okay.
Last time I went looking for the RSM website, it came up as a dead end. The domain was for sale or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I just found the catalog. I haven't I'm actually looking at a catalog. I don't know it's a PDF that I came into, so that's very fortunate. All right, well, we will continue this later on that about that subject, and we're almost at the top of the hour. So
good night, guys. I'm starting to fall asleep.
Yeah, thank you.
See you guys on Friday.
See you Friday, man. Thank you.
You bet.
Take care, Len.
You bet. Good luck, Dennis. Hope things go well.
So do I. So
fantastic. And, I'm going to end the live stream, you guys, and we can carry on. And let me do that right now. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Let me see if there's any more last minute chats. Brent Williams says motor KV will tell you what cell count of the battery you need. Thank you very much, Brent Williams. And then Buddy Barbie says light provided. Thank you very much. This other monitor is not telling me how many likes I have. I just see how many concurrent viewers at this point, but I have no idea how many likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. If you're watching this as a replay, please hit the 3 buttons, hit this super thanks, and please donate. And today's Monday, so we'll be back Friday. Hopefully between now and then, you have a chance to go in your shop, do some work, or go fly and come back and tell us all about it Friday. So until then, farewell.